In this video, we will be taking a look at the arguments made by an ex-God of War game director in regards to Dragon Age the Veilguard and YouTubers.
When you say that the gaming community ruined this game's success, I mean, I don't think that's entirely fair, but I think there is a lot of truth to it. If you're EA, you've got to kind of prepare for the market winds that you're sailing into and all that. And so they should have been prepared to counter, and they weren't. Really, at this point, all that gaming community that you're talking about has done is they've made it so they've actually made games worse, which is what they say they're trying to not do.
The gaming community did not ruin this game's success. If you're talking about it's because of low sales, then yeah, people or gamers did not want the product, so of course they won't buy it. That's it. That's pretty much it. And for the second point, EA's best counter for the criticisms levied at Dragon Age the Veilguard right now would have been to actually write a great epic dark fantasy story and to actually write the dialogue and characters well.
Because they have the charismatic grifters that make the videos that for whatever reason people respond to. People who haven't actually played this game will hate it just because they're sort of told to hate it. And so what does EA do next time? They don't make Stellar Blade. They just continue to sort of, vanilla the fuck out of everything they work on and make sure that no one's going to have anything to complain about.
If EA's response to the criticisms at Dragon Age the Veilguard is to make their future games even more vanilla, that's on them. That's just bad business in my opinion. But they will take whatever course they decide on. As for EA's so-called grifters gaining attention from people, maybe you have to try and consider that the criticisms made by these YouTubers are actually valid and something that resonates with a lot of gamers. As for Stellar Blade, EA will never make a Stellar Blade up until the DEI or ESG money runs out, if they don't get bought out for not being able to pay back their debt anyway. And yeah, Stellar Blade in itself was co-opted by Sony to be Sony basically censored them. So yeah, meanwhile you have Abby in The Last of Us Part 2 getting banged on screen, so there we go.
I'm going to ask you if you want transgender game options 1 hour in. You select yes or no. So all the people bitching invited it into their game. I don't even know what it asked, but this character apparently is the Barv trans character, and so far there's nothing. Not that needs to be. I mean, to me, that's the equivalent of saying, "Do you want black people? Do you want black people in your game? We have a button that'll get the blacks out." That's the equivalent of it. But if that's what you're saying, I mean, I didn't even know that's what they were asking. The only thing I've come across so far, and again, I've seen that cutscene. It's terribly written and performed, the Barv thing. But the only thing I've even come across so far is when you're talking to characters, and one of your multiple options is you can romance a character who is the same sex as your character. And you can just be like, oh, no thanks. You're like Chad in SNL. It's like, no thanks. And, if that's not what you're into. The grifters who hate woke still streamed the game and played it to finish grifting how bad the game was. So yeah, they didn't like it, but played it for views and ad revenue equals grift, yeah.
The grifters that he is talking about are the YouTubers who are making fun of the Veilguard, or the YouTubers who are actually exposing how badly written or cringe Dragon Age the Veilguard is. It's very disingenuous for him to say that he doesn't know why people are listening to these so-called grifters. I hope he does realize that it's not because they're grifters, it's because they're not shills. There's an equal or maybe even more shills than there are people criticizing video games nowadays. All your major outlets are shilling for the game. First of all, you can't really make a product that will not be criticized. That's virtually impossible. Regardless of what the product is, how perfect it may seem, there will always be criticisms. The best case scenario is for a company to make a product that has so many good points about it that it severely outweighs the negative aspects of it. And for the second part, um, yeah, don't equate black people with transgenders, because transgenders is just a man-made thing. And in my opinion, it's a mental illness. I'm not from the West, so that's how I view it. Maybe uh, other people might view it differently. Other people who are not in the West as well might view it differently, but that's how I view it. These so-called grifters who are streaming and playing Dragon Age the Veilguard, even though they hate it, I believe they are the YouTubers with actually substantial following. So yeah, since it's basically their job, they will do it, and it's also great interaction for their communities because it's funny to make fun of a bad game or any bad product. If anything, this gives more credibility to their future assessments or future criticisms of the game because they actually played it.
A Valve dev said they're making the game really woke to upset Elon and Grums. Well, I don't know. I mean, I know what you're talking about, Eddie. I know the art director was basically pushing back because Elon got upset and Grums got upset that there are, God forbid, pronouns in that you can select or maybe not even select in Avowed. But and so the art director got pissed off and the community manager shut her account down. But I don't know, the game's almost done. So I don't really, that may have just been sort of a pissy kind of statement. But I mean, again, it's, and I agree, Morgan, when you say, oh my God, again with this. I know, but this is the news of the day. I mean, this is sort of what happens in the gaming world right now. We're still talking games. I'm still playing lots of games. We're still doing game design discussions, but these are the people that, are influencing something. Don't know why. Don't know why, but they are. I mean, imagine how unsuccessful you have to be that you're willing to go, you know what I'll do then? My game wasn't working out. So you know what I'll do? I'll build a whole career about bitching about stuff that I find woke. Really? God, that must suck for you. I'm not trying to be like reverse psychology the guy. I'm just saying it's like, Jesus, man. Just go make some shit if you don't like it. There's a lot to like out there. I mean,
in regards to the Avowed thing, I'm actually going to skip over it because I don't have enough information about it. And for the Grums thing about being a failed video game developer or whatever, I don't really care about it. He can say what he wants. That's not part of the things that I want to argue about. In regards to the influencer thing, however, I believe for products who have actually already entered the mainstream, products that are actually already recognizable, has a recognizable name like Dragon Age or Lord of the Rings. I believe the influencer relationship is more of a multiplier, so I find it very hard to sway people's opinions through the internet, through YouTube videos. Because most of the time, people are just looking for videos that complement what they already think of the product, that are in line with their criticisms and their opinions. And these criticisms and opinions often happen very fast, and sometimes even subconsciously. The moment you see a product, the moment you hear about it, the moment someone tells you a certain aspect of it, we form our opinions rather quickly, and it's kind of hard to sway that from one end to another, from positive to a negative, or vice versa. So yeah, most viewers, I believe, just tries to find videos that complements how they already think of the product. Like, if you like a game, you're more likely to watch videos that are straight shilling for it, saying that it's perfect. Even if you don't think so, you'd probably enjoy those videos, so you would still watch it. I know I do. So there we go. So this is the end of the video. The last few minutes of the ex game director's video is about his preferences and comparisons with other games. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.